From translation, Net New English Translation. This 38th day of the year. Today we are reading passages Leviticus 19 to 21. Leviticus chapter 19, verses 1 to 37. The Lord spoke to Moses. Say to all the community of the Israelites, you must be holy because I, the Lord your God, am holy. Each of you must respect his mother and father, and you must keep my Sabbaths. I am the Lord your God. Do not turn to idols or make for yourselves any gods of cast metal. I am the Lord your God. When you offer a sacrifice of peace offerings to the Lord, you must do so that you may accept it. It must be eaten on the same day you offer it or on the next day, but anything left over until the third day must be burned up. If it is eaten on the third day, it is considered contaminated. It will not be accepted, and the one who eats it will bear his punishment, because he has desecrated what is holy to the Lord. That person must be cut off from his people. When you harvest the produce of your land, you must not harvest to the very edge of your field, and you must not gather the gleanings of your harvest. You must not pick your vineyard bare, or gather the fallen grapes of your vineyard. You must leave them for the poor and for the foreigner. I am the Lord your God. You must not steal, you must not lie, you must not deceive one another. You must not swear falsely by my name, so as to profane the name of your God. I am the Lord. You must not oppress your neighbor or rob him. The wages of a hired worker must not remain with you until morning. You must not curse the deaf or put a stumbling block in front of the blind, but you must fear your God. I am the Lord. You must not render an unjust judgment. You must not be partial to the poor or show favoritism to the great, but you must judge your neighbor fairly. You must not go about as a slanderer among your people, and you must not stand idly by when your neighbor's life is at stake. I am the Lord. You must not hate your brother in your heart. You must surely reprove your neighbor so that you do not incur sin because of him. You must not take vengeance or bear a grudge against your countrymen, but you must love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord. You must keep my statutes. You must not breed together two different kinds of your livestock. You must not sow your field with two different kinds of seed, and you must not wear a garment made from two different kinds of material. If a man has sexual intercourse with a woman who is a female slave, promised to another man, but has not been ransomed or given her freedom, there must be punishment, but they are not to be put to death, because she had not been freed. The man must bring his guilt offering to the Lord at the entrance to the tent of meeting, a ram for a guilt offering. The priest will make atonement for him, with the ram of the guilt offering before the Lord for his sin that he has committed, and he will be forgiven for the sin he committed. When you come into the land and plant any kind of tree for food, you must consider it forbidden for 3 years. It must not be eaten. In the 4th year all its fruit must be consecrated as a special gift for the Lord. In the 5th year you may eat its fruit, so that it may produce better for you. I am the Lord your God. You must not eat any meat with the blood still in it. You must not practice divination or sorcery. You must not cut the hair on the sides of your head or clip off the edges of your beard. You must not make cuts in your body for the dead or tattoo yourselves. I am the Lord. You must not degrade your daughter by making her a prostitute, so that the land does not become corrupt with sexual immorality. You must keep my Sabbaths and revere my sanctuary. I am the Lord. You must not turn to mediums or necromancers. You must not seek them out to become defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. You must stand up in the presence of the elderly, and you must respect the aged. You must fear your God. I am the Lord. When a foreigner resides with you in your land, you must not oppress him. You must treat the foreigner residing among you like a native citizen among you, and you must love him as yourself, because you were foreigners in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. You must not cheat in measuring length, weight, or volume. You must have accurate balances, accurate weights, an accurate dry measure, and an accurate liquid measure. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out from the land of Egypt. You must obey all my statutes and all my regulations and do them. I am the Lord. Leviticus chapter 20, verses 1 to 27. The Lord spoke to Moses. Say to the Israelites, any man from the Israelites or from the foreigners residing in Israel who gives any of his offspring to Molech must be put to death. The people of the land must stone him with stones. I myself will set my face against that man and cut him off from among his people, because he has given some of his offspring to Molech, so as to defile my sanctuary and profane my holy name. If the people of the land all close their eyes when that man gives one of his offspring to Molech, and they do not put him to death, then I myself will set my face against that man and his family, and I will cut off from among their people both him and all who follow him in prostituting themselves with Molech. As for the person who turns to mediums and necromancers to prostitute themselves with them, I will set my face against that person and cut him off from among his people. Consecrate yourselves and be holy, because I am the Lord your God. You must keep my statutes and do them. I am the Lord who sanctifies you. for anyone who curses his father or mother must be put to death. He has cursed his father or mother, his blood is on himself. If a man commits adultery with another man's wife, both the adulterer and the adulteress must be put to death. If a man has sexual intercourse with his father's wife, he has uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them must be put to death, their blood is on themselves. If a man has sexual intercourse with his daughter-in-law, both of them must be put to death, they have committed perversion. Their blood is on themselves. If a man has sexual intercourse with a man as one does with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They must be put to death, their blood is on themselves. If a man marries a woman and her mother, it is depraved. Both he and they must be burned with fire, so that there will be no depravity in your midst. If a man has sexual intercourse with an animal, he must be put to death, and you must kill the animal. If a woman approaches any animal to have sexual relations with it, you must kill the woman and the animal. Their blood is on themselves. If a man takes his sister, his father's daughter or his mother's daughter, and sees her nakedness, and she sees his nakedness, it is a disgrace, and they must be cut off in the sight of their people. He has uncovered his sister's nakedness, he will bear his punishment. If a man has sexual intercourse with a woman during her menstrual period and uncovers her nakedness, he has laid bare her fountain, and she has uncovered the fountain of her blood. Both of them must be cut off from among their people. You must not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister or your father's sister, for he has laid bare his close relative. They must bear their punishment. If a man has sexual intercourse with his aunt, he has uncovered his uncle's nakedness. They must bear their sin, they will die childless. If a man takes his brother's wife, it is impurity. He has uncovered his brother's nakedness, they will be childless. You must keep all my statutes and all my regulations and do them, so that the land to which I am bringing you to live might not vomit you out. You must not follow the practices of the nation that I am driving out before you, because they have done all these things and I abhorred them. But I have said to you, you will inherit their land, and I will give it to you to possess, a land flowing with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, who has set you apart from the peoples. You must distinguish between the clean animal and the unclean, and between the unclean bird and the clean, and you must not make yourselves detestable by means of animal or bird or anything that crawls on the ground that I have set apart for you to be unclean. You must be holy to me, because I the Lord am holy, and I have set you apart from the peoples to be my own. A man or a woman who functions as a medium or necromancer must be put to death. They must be stoned with stones. Their blood is on themselves. Leviticus chapter 21, verses 1 to 24. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the priests, the sons of Aaron, and tell them, a priest must not make himself ceremonially unclean for a dead person among his relatives, except for his closest relatives. His mother, his father, his son, his daughter, and his brother. He may also make himself unclean for his unmarried sister, who is near to him because she has not had a husband. For her he may make himself unclean. He must not make himself unclean as a husband among his people, so as to profane himself. They must not make bald patches on their heads, shave off the edges of their beards, or make a cut in their flesh. They must be holy to their God, and they must not profane the name of their God, because they present the offerings made by fire to the Lord, the food of their God. Therefore they must be holy. A woman must not be married to a priest who is a prostitute or who is profaned, for he has profaned her. He must not marry a woman divorced from her husband, because he has profaned himself through her. I am the Lord. You must sanctify him, because he presents the food of your God. He must be holy to you, because I am the Lord who sanctifies you. A priest's daughter who profanes herself by becoming a prostitute must be burned with fire, because she has brought shame on her father's house with her prostitution. She must be cut off from her people. The high priest, the one among his brothers who has the anointing oil poured on his head and who has been consecrated to wear the special garments, must not uncover his head or tear his clothes. He must not make himself unclean for a dead relative. He must not go out from the sanctuary and profane the sanctuary of his God, for the anointing oil of his God is on him. I am the Lord. A wife he must take who is a virgin. A widow, a divorced woman, or a woman who has been profaned, a prostitute, these he must not marry. He must take a virgin from his own people as a wife, and he must not profane his offspring among his people, because I am the Lord who sanctifies him. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Tell Aaron, none of your descendants throughout their generations who has a physical defect is to approach to offer the food of his God, for no one who has a physical defect may approach. A man who is blind, lame, disfigured, deformed, a man with a foot or hand that is too long, a man with a broken leg or a broken arm, or a hunchback or a dwarf, or a man with an eye defect, or a festering rash or scabs or crushed testicles. No descendant of Aaron the priest who has a physical defect may come forward to present the Lord's offerings made by fire. Since he has a physical defect, he must not come forward to offer the food of his God. However, he may eat the food of his God, both of the most holy and of the holy, but he must not go into the veil or approach the altar because he has a physical defect, so that he may not profane my sanctuaries. I am the Lord who sanctifies them,